Hey, you guys, it's Daddy and I. We're coming at you today, and this is our couples video. We're going to do it somewhat love style for Valentine's Day, and you all know that that is approaching. So I wanted to do a topic that that basically incorporates a man's point of view and a man's thought process, or the way that they view these things. And I wanted to get Daddy's opinion on some things, and also you guys can chime in as well underneath. But before we do so, I wanted to let you guys know that this is my opinion. This is Daddy's opinion. We all have the right to have that. Um, and the reality is, women, girls, sisters out there, um, we're not men. So we can't tell exactly what a man thinks. We can't say exactly what a man how they view certain things. We can guess. We have great hypothesis on the issue, but we don't know exactly how a man thinks. And although all men are different, they are men. They have something in common, that in common. And we don't know what they think. And I think this is a great opportunity when we do couples talks and things like that to get not only the female view or the female's angle or thought process, we can get the man's view straight from the man. Not us women guessing, but straight from the man. Not what we've been taught to believe, not what we may come to conclusions after having relationships and friendships and husbands and stuff like that. Not those kind of opinions. I'm talking about straight from a man. So, I wanted us to talk about when a man loves a woman. Yeah, when a man loves a woman. And I have my thoughts. After being raised and hearing my mom and my grandmother say certain things that a man should be, and after seeing my mother's relationships and certain characteristics that she looked for, and the men that she's had in her lifetime possessed, um, that what that does is create our own as women, as girls viewing this, as teenagers viewing it, and then becoming young women and full grown women. What it does is it creates an assessment of, or it creates a image or characteristics that we believe that men should have, and even relating to how a man should love a woman, or when a man should love a woman, and things that he should do to show that he loves a woman. So, I wanted to ask Daddy some things that when a man loves a woman, um, we could start just in general, and then I'll just throw out some things specifically, and then you can give your thoughts on it. So, in general, what do you think a man? How do you think a man should love a woman, or how he should treat her if, in fact, he loves her? Now, it's a difference between a man liking a woman and loving a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, how should he carry it, in a sense?
Or how should you treat her?
Mm-hmm.
Just put her on a pedestal. Like I do you.
You do that.
Because I love you.
I know.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes, you do.
Stop being selfish.
Yes, that's important, especially
Very.
for women, because when we see selfishness, to us, in our definition, that is the epitome of not loving us. Because we can't even wrap our mind around how somebody can be selfish but love at the same time. But men can do it. Y'all know how to do it. I don't know how y'all able to be selfish and love at the same time. But women, when we love y'all, we really truly give ourselves to y'all. So being selfish, I'm talking about majority women, most women, and I'm talking about women, not girls. We when we give ourselves to y'all, when we love y'all, it comes easy for us to not be selfish. Now there's women out there, they roll like that. They can be selfish and know how to cut their feelings off a certain level and all that. But a lot of women, depending upon their heart, their values, and all that kind of stuff, it's hard for us to be selfish and love completely. But y'all do it. Yeah, y'all do it.
I don't know how, but
What do you feel a man, how a man loves a woman, uh, with children, if they have children?
well, if you love that woman, then you have to love our kids.
And you'll grow to actually love them, not
Yeah.
just like them, not just
No,
tolerate them.
you'll end up loving them.
Because I know a lot of relationships, they tolerate the children, but that doesn't mean they love them. You know what I'm
But
saying?
now, as far as young kids, I feel a man shouldn't get into a relationship with a woman if a woman has young kids and he doesn't plan on staying around for the long haul,
Mm-hmm.
because that will mess the kids up.
Yeah, because then if that happens with you, say you,
Yeah,
then the next relationship he's
it's
going to do the same. So that
it's gonna
that build
keep going on and on and on, and
that builds on also the
yeah,
fact that the woman has to be mindful.
yeah,
Because see, if she allows that man in her life,
yeah. And women, don't bring just any old man around your kids. I mean, you really, it's a lot of crazy people out here these days. So,
mm-hmm,
and you really gotta watch it, especially for you women who have daughters.
mm-hmm.
You really have to watch it.
And nowadays it don't even matter. I mean,
Yeah, it really doesn't.
It never did, but
But
it's
now,
so
now
mhm,
it's just blatantly out there that it
mhm,
doesn't really matter if
mhm,
it's your daughter or not. But yeah, now you really have to watch your daughters around these men. Sometimes even your sons,
mhm.
because we watch Steve and
Oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
real crazy. They fail every lie detector
Yes,
test,
and then the woman still want to be with him.
and they be looking so manly, what we
Mhm.
consider ideally manly,
Yeah,
and come to find out
they touching little kids.
they touching little kids and stuff.
Definitely gotta be mindful of
You
that.
had to be very mindful.
So don't bring a man around your kids, not unless you've been with him for a while and he understands that you don't want him to be one of them jump in there and then
Mhm.
okay, well I'm tired of it, so I'm leaving.
Mhm.
Because that's in the long run, it's not going to affect you as much as it's going to affect
Mhm.
the kids.
And another thing is, please don't ever think that it's been easy for us the transition of myself having a teenager and marrying Chuck, who had no birth children, and then also me having a newborn. And Daddy knew me while I was pregnant. You all know, but it was not an easy road. It was not an easy road.
It really was.
It really wasn't. It was not an easy road. But the fact is, and the fact remains, that if piggybacking on what the title and the subject is, if a man loves a woman, if a man truly loves a woman, it's certain things not only he'll overlook, it's certain things he'll grow to accept, and it's certain things that you just pray on for God to change. And when a man loves a woman, he'll wait for those changes. When a man loves a woman, he'll love you despite the bumps in the road or the transition of having no children to having children that's not only a teenager but a vocal teenager at times, not disrespectful blatantly, but little actions can be certain construed as certain levels of disrespect and things like that. So it's better now. It's real good now, but at one time it was a little bumpy at times. You understand what I'm saying? But again, if a man truly loves a woman, because see, if a man like you, he ain't gonna go through all that. If he just like you, he gonna be like, you know what? Because when a man likes you, he weighs the fact that the good outweighs the bad. And trust and believe me, if he just likes you, and that's it, he gonna figure if it's not all good at the moment, or if the good doesn't outweigh the bad, I mean if the bad outweighs the good, trust me, he's gone. Why? Because he just likes you. He could just like 100 girls. But when he loves you, that's a different level of accepting. That's a different level of understanding that one will do. And that goes for men and women, I believe. But I wanted to also talk about when a man, because I always hear people say, and not everybody wants to get married. Not everybody has a certain faith or whatever. Not everybody wants to get married. And some people say they don't want to get married and they do want to get married. But the man just ain't married. I mean, a lot of women, it is a lot of women that don't want to get married for whatever reasons.
It's a lot of men that don't want to get married too.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, so when a man loves a woman, I want to hear a man's point of view. Because I hear people say, we not financially ready. The reality is most of us will never be what we call financially ready.
Don't cost that much. If you really love them, don't cost that much.
How much we pay? We paid for our reception and stuff, but we
Oh,
paid
not
for the actual the license was
the
$50,
$50,
and then we had to go when we went back.
and that was what, $35.
Yeah, 35. So it was under $100.
Yeah, and all the other stuff, the I want a big wedding, and I want a big.
You can have a
You
dinner.
can do that later.
Yep. You can have a dinner
small,
afterwards.
something small, intimate. Because if you truly love this person and you truly want to be,
It ain't about that.
Yeah, it's not about the money aspect.
It's about honoring her.
It's about the fact that, if you've been with someone for a long period of time, might as well. I mean, you're living a married life. Go ahead and get it done on paper.
If he already getting everything, the benefits of having a wife, why
Yeah.
won't he honor you enough?
You might as well.
And even if you haven't been together a long period of time, y'all know that Daddy and I went on our first date. 30 days later, we literally was married.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Not no, oh, we ready to get married or we think about getting married. No, we was married at 30 days. Okay? And that's not for everybody. In fact, most couples, if they do that, they won't last. Because on paper, if we all put it all on paper, the reality is that we are a rarity. That's why we know we're special. That's why we know that God put us together for a reason. Not only because we feel a strong connection towards each other, and not only because we have went through so much, but we have fought and went against all the odds.
Mm-hmm.
We were broke, homeless, didn't have much of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
At one point when we first got together, didn't even have transportation, have a car.
Didn't have a house.
Look, I had children.
Mm-hmm.
We literally went against all the odds. And if we can do it and we can fight through it after being against all of those humongous odds, not we had a down period, he wasn't making that much. No. We talking about having down to nothing. Now, Daddy did not ask me out on a date until he had a job. Even though I knew him, he would not, because Daddy is the type of man.
Old school.
He's old school in a lot of ways. That's why we work, because y'all, a lot of people that don't know me, I'm modern and contemporary in a lot of ways, but I'm also old school in a lot of ways as well. People that's been rolling with me on my channel for a long time, y'all could tell that, even without me saying it. But we complement each other because Daddy has a sense of old school values, and he believed that you don't ask no woman out unless you got a job. You see what I'm saying? And I respected that, because it says a lot about a man that will come to you. He don't even have a job. He see you got children, and he gonna ask you out. What y'all gonna do? Like, I mean, seriously, it's not about money. I'm not saying that. Trust and believe me, that's not how I roll. Because obviously, it's not about money. If I married a man that was also in the homeless shelter, because I saw his worth beyond a dollar figure. And when we look for men about their money, and when we look for men and letting that define them, that's when we come into play with men that we don't, because we just letting that be their definition. We let that be their definition, and we don't worry about their character. And then later on down the line, when you're having character issues or seeing character flaws, values and morals decreased and stuff like that, that's when you're going to have a problem. Because from the jump, you cared more about his value of whatever he had. You understand what I'm saying? I saw his value beyond money. So therefore, once God blessed us with some money, the base of what I cared about him for was there from the get-go, whether he had money or not. And that's what I cared about, and that's what will make a relationship last, I believe. But I just think that, people say that I believe if a man really loves you, no matter what dollar figure he have in his pocket. I know people work at McDonald's you still can afford an $85 marriage license.
Mm-hmm.
And go to a buffet afterwards for dinner for $10. Hello?
That just means no drink for the night.
That's it.
Priorities.
That's it. So if you really love a woman and you really want to marry a woman, if you really want to, see, that's the difference. If you really want to, that's the key word. If you want to, a lot of men don't want to. Why? Because for whatever reasons they don't want to, but they don't want to. The key word is want. And it's a lot of women that's going to roll with it. They're going to roll with it. Why? Because Either they are desperate, either they feel as though they have self-esteem issues and they can't do better, even though they may think that not only they can't do better, they don't deserve better. Some women just so needy and they just accept anything. Some women, you'll throw trash at them and they'll be like, "Ooh, thank you." It is women out there like that. That's the reality. Some women just let it slide because they feel as though, oh well, he'll be when he's ready. I'll be here. But if you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, you should question not yourself. You should question if in fact he really wants you or not. If he will honor you or not in that way. That's the reality. Whether we want to accept it or not. If a man, and this is coming from a man, if a man really wants you, he will marry you. Now, if your belief system and stuff that you don't really care to get married or whatever, that's a different story. I'm not talking about that. Again, so nobody has any issues with it. I'm not talking about if y'all both just don't care to get married. I'm talking about when it's a party, one of the people in the relationship really desire it, want it, for whatever basis, whether that's religious reasons, spiritual reasons, whether that's just because they want it because they have children or they want to have children, whatever reasons it is, if one person in that relationship wants it, you have to question why the other person don't. And if in fact they have a level of love for you. Because if a man really loves you, he will do it, obviously.
Boys play house.
Truth be told.
Men make one.
Hello.
Mm.
So, that was a good one. So, I mean, we could just leave it at that. I just think that we as women don't want to face it because we can't imagine giving ourselves to somebody to these levels and them not giving all of themselves to us. We can't fathom that because who wants to believe that? If you really care about somebody, love somebody, who wants to believe that? You know what I'm saying?
Think about it.
So it's something to think about. And it's income tax time. Hello, if it costs $85 to get a marriage license, I don't want to hear nobody saying, "Oh, we not financially ready to get married." If you got income tax,
this month you are.
Hello. It's a lot of thousandaires out there. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of thousandaires out there, and you can afford. If you can afford these lace fronts and stuff like that, you can get married.
For you women, that's 2 less wigs. For you men, that's just a couple inches shaved off the TV you're gonna get.
Or let's be real, that's for some men. That's maybe what? That's 5 less blunts for y'all. That's let's be real. It's a lot. I got all kinds of viewers. Let's be honest. Okay. So I'm just saying. So this is just our couple talk. We wind up talking about when a man loves a woman, but we wind up focusing on the fact if he really wants to marry you, he will. If he wants to.
Wait a minute, it could be the other way around. He might want to and she don't.
Well, my views on that is the same thing.
Well, because y'all women play a lot of games too.
A lot of women do it because of fear.
Don't be scared.
A lot of men probably do it because of fear. Now that I'm bringing it up, they probably do it because of fear. They probably do. But I feel as though if you've been with a woman...
Or they could think like I used to think. I told Kiana I didn't want to get married because something better might come along.
Oh my God, when we was friends, y'all, we used to be just talking in general. I told y'all we was cool like that. So we'd be talking to Joe, and I'd be like, "Why you don't want to get married, Chuck?" And he'd be like, "Cause something better may come along." I almost fell out of my chair when he said that. I'm like, you know what? A lot of men probably do think like that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe a lot of men are so trifling that they think like that.
That wasn't trifling. It's the truth.
But then you hurried and married me.
That's just like when you
And then
drive
you
down
hurried
the street
and married
and you're
me.
real hungry, and you see that McDonald's and you're like, I don't want McDonald's, but you know it might be a Checkers or something down the street a little bit further. But then you stop at McDonald's and you get McDonald's, and then what happens? Pop up a Checkers, and then you're mad because you're like, I missed it.
I could have had Checkers.
Yeah.
So then you hurried up and married me in 30 days.
That's because I was eating McDonald's and I got a 5-star restaurant.
Oh.
That was just right.
So, All right, you guys. I hope this has helped.
She tricked
Um,
me.
yeah, I tricked him into a door.
She said we was going to eat.
Oh, I did not say
We was
that.
at the courthouse.
Oh, you talking about
Trying to
trick you
pay
into
me.
Mars? I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about this video because I said
I thought, you know, it was I was signing up for the value menu or something.
the specials or something.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna email me some specials, some coupons. Nah, they gave me a wedding certificate. Wow, threw me off.
You're so
Sorry.
sick. Alright, you guys, we love y'all so much. Make sure you check out the other video. That is Daddy's Contest. Make sure you listen to the entire video because it's going to give you the instructions and all the information. So, alright, you guys, we love you so. Happy Valentine's Day. Even though it's not Valentine's Day yet. But we send our love to you regardless. Hope this has enlightened you. And be blessed. So silly.